Honorable Datu Professor Dr. Muhammad Faiz Abdullah, Chairman of the ISIS Malaysia, Dr. Yusuf Rizal Damuri, Executive Director of the Center for the Strategic and International Studies, 2024 Chair of the ASEAN ISIS Network, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, dear friends, good evening. It is a great pleasure to be invited to the 37th Asia-Pacific Roundtable. On behalf of the China Embassy in Malaysia, I give my warmest congratulations to the successful convening of this roundtable. My heartfelt gratitude go to the Datu Professor Dr. Faiz for his kindly invitation and his highly capable ISIS team for their professionalism and devotion, which has made APR a celebrated event in the region. Today, we, humankind, are facing unprecedented challenges in a world full of the unpredictable change and chaotic situation. People eagerly long for the more powerful and stable forces to ensure them a promising future. Crisis in the Interregnum is, as this year's theme, is both relevant and timely, providing a great platform for people to exchange views on the issue of the region and the global significance, and gain the wisdom and insight from which we might find better ways out. In a world of the full of the uncertainties, what kind of world we want and how to build it is a witty question to all. Taking into considerations the well-being of all the countries, China has provided the vision of building the global community with a shared future for mankind as its answer. The vision aims to build a world with the lasting peace, universal security, and common prosperity. A world is open, inclusive, clean, and beautiful. It advocates the global governance based on the extensive consultation and joint contribution for the shared benefits. It advocates peace, development, equity, justice, democracy, and freedom as the common values of the humanities, and strive to foster a new type of the international relations based on mutual respect, equity and justice, mutually beneficial cooperation. Its ideas and values are realized by the Global Development Initiative, Global Security Initiative, Global Civilization Initiative, and the Belt and Road Initiative. Since put forward 11 years ago, building the global community with a shared future for mankind has grown from an abstract idea to a full-fledged scientific system. From one nation proposal to the international consensus, from a beautiful vision to practical achievements, which is getting increasing impact, volatilities, and attractions today. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, China and the ASEAN countries enjoy geographic proximity, cultural intimacy, and people-to-people bond. China always gives priorities to the ASEAN in its neighborhood diplomacy, unswervingly support ASEAN centrality, a more unity, independent, and developed ASEAN, and the ASEAN playing a big role in regional and international affairs. Now, China has reached the important consensus with Malaysia and other 6 ASEAN countries on building a community with a shared future on a bilateral basis. enabling China-ASEAN relations and exemplary case in building the global community with a shared future for the mankind. Standing at a new historical point, China is willing to work with the ASEAN countries to further implement the three global initiatives and build a more closely bonded China-ASEAN community with a shared future. Firstly, we should focus on the common development and jointly turn the region into a model of the GDI cooperation. Caring for the practical needs and the long-term goals, GDI aims to foster a new momentum for the global common development. China is willing to explore the better ways to synthesize the GDI with the strategic plans of the ASEAN Community Vision 2045 and speed up negotiations on the China-ASEAN Free Trade Areas Vision 3.0. China is ready to work with the ASEAN countries in more effectively implementing the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP. Deepening industry collaborations, stabilizing the production and the supply chains, enhancing the regional connectivities, and releasing further the potentials of emerging industry such as the digital transformation and the green economy. China is also willing to deepen the cross-border industry cooperation with the ASEAN countries. Secondly, we should strive to ensure the universal peace and jointly turn the region into a pioneer of the GSI cooperation. GSI advocates common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security, respecting all the countries' sovereignty and territorial integrity. It emphasized on abiding by the purpose and the principles of the UN Charter and taking legitimate security concerns of all the countries seriously. It is also committed to peacefully resolving differences and disputes between the countries through the dialogue and consultation. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the 5 principles of the peaceful coexistence. Being consistent in observing the 5 principles and the spirit of the Treaty of the Amity and the Cooperation in the Southeast Asia, China is willing to work closely with the ASEAN countries in coping with the security challenges and threats through dialogue other than confrontation, and by forming partnership other than alliance. China is willing to work closely with the ASEAN countries in more effectively implementing the declarations on the conduct of the parties in the South China Sea, DOC, and speeding up the consultations on the COC to jointly maintain the peace and the stability of the region. We should also strengthen the cooperation in non-traditional security areas, such as combating the telecommunication fraud and the illegal online gambling. Thirdly, we should promote understanding between different civilizations and jointly turn the region into a chorus of the GCI cooperation. GCI advocates respect for the civilization diversity, common values of the humanity, civilizational inheritance and innovation, and the people-to-people exchange. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the China-Malaysia establishing diplomatic relations, which is also the China-ASEAN year of the people-to-people exchange and the year of the China-Malaysia friendship. At such a favorable time, China is willing to working closely with the ASEAN partners in further tightening people-to-people bond by increasing exchange in culture, media, education, tourism, youth, and think tanks, and other fields. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, as the world's second largest economy, China's economy has always been a hot topic. Recently, some countries accused China for the overcapacity in the new energy industry and said China's economy has peaked, which are untrue. I would like to actually share my perspective here with the friends. Is this the China's overcapacity? The answer is no. It is true that China has enhanced productivities in the EV and other new energy products. Yet, this enhanced capacity, other than the overcapacity, is a natural outcome of the competitive advantage in the market economy. It is common practice for a country to produce and export the products of its own comparative advantage in order to win in the competition, which is a basic principle of the modern economics. The reason why the China EV has won over are due to the China's favorable policies of the continued opening up, industrial transformation, technological upgrading, and a huge internal market, which has collectively enabled China's EV industry progress fast. Just recently, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said in her China trip that the Chinese government support is currently leading to the production capacity that significantly exceeds the Chinese domestic demand, as well as what the global market can bear. At the same time, and Bloomberg articles directly point out her mistake by saying that one of the most distinguished living economists is rejecting what is being one of the most fundamental principles of the economics for more than 200 years, which is a comparative advantage. If a country can manufacture goods at low cost than you shouldn't raise the tariff barriers. Instead, you should import more goods and set back something in return where your industry is more efficient. Arbitrarily, the blaming of others will do no good to U.S. economy. It is detrimental to the global economy recoveries. How does China's economic development look like in the future? My answer is China's long-term economic outlook will be positive and continue to enjoy an upward trend. This is not the empty optimism, but the rational calculations based on the China's solid economic merits. China has unparalleled mega market with over 400 million people, 400 million the middle income people as its backbone. All the industrial sectors in the United Nations industrial classification system. The world is the largest research and development team, and the vast innovation potential ready to be unleashed by the new quality productive forces. All these collectively constitute the solid foundations which ensure the China's long-term economic growth. China is rightly on its way to achieving the second 100 years goals of becoming a great modern socialist country in all respects. With a high level of openness and China-style modernizations carried on the form and steady, China will continue to provide development opportunities to both the region and the world. China advocates an equal and orderly multipolar world and a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalizations. China is a major trading partner of more than 140 countries and regions, whose economy achieved 5.2% growth last year, despite the global economic downturn, contributing 30% to the world economic growth. According to the Bloomberg's recent calculations using the International Monetary Fund forecasts, China will be the top contributor to the global growth over the next 5 years, with its share bigger than all the groups of the 7 countries combined. China will develop well only when the world develops well. In return, a better developed China will bring about a more prospective world. China is willing and ready to work with the ASEAN and other countries in the region to jointly address the risks and the challenges, and co-build this region into our shared home of peace, tranquility, prosperity, beauty, and friendship. Wish 37th Asia-Pacific Roundtables a big success. Thank you all.